This video might be a little bit longer, but I want to give you guys a personal insight of what my life has been since I graduated high school to now. And then the next video, I want to kind of go in depth of if college is really good for you or not. Again, I think my channel is really just becoming the point of if you are in my age range, because life is hard, and as I'm figuring out, it's not that I regret doing some things, it's that I really wish I did some things better than I did them before. So I'm hoping that you can kind of avoid the mistakes, okay? And we're gonna get this car into play because this plays a huge role in all of this. So, firstly, I was 18, graduated high school, 3 months out, I go to my first actual university, go into an exploratory program because I screwed up. I wanted YouTube full time. I wanted to do it. This was my main channel that I haven't even broadcasted on here. But I had less than 1,000 subs. I had probably 200 subscribers, and I was so gung-ho about YouTube. I was like, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I don't care. And then I drop out of college. I'm like, I'm going to pursue YouTube full time. Changed my content so many times, but that's for a whole different realm. That's a whole different story at that point. Then I take 6 months off, go to a university in Florida, live on my own at 18, turning 19, get a degree in there, I didn't drop out yet, but I changed my major 3 times. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Changed my major 3 different times, earn a degree, does nothing for me. Drop out again because I'm like, the school's not doing it for me. But spent $30,000 to $50,000 at that school. So that's gone. Move back home. Spend the next 2 years working. 1 year was kind of like, this is when COVID started to hit and everything, like real bad. And I didn't work. I didn't work at all. I just was at home, grinding YouTube videos, streaming, doing all this stuff. That's when the Phase 5 was happening. I was like, whoa, I'm going to be this. And this goes back to the interest. Never give up on interests. Interests make your life so much better and make you so much happier. Okay, so now we're back home in Indiana. This is where I start creating businesses. This is where the car comes into play. Not this one, because obviously I've changed cars multiple times, but this is the car I currently have. Cars mean so much to me. Before I even got my first car, I was 14 and my dad had a 1999 Porsche Boxster. It was $14,000 at that point. It was just a nice little convertible, had like 400 horsepower to it, sounded good, it was fast. That's where I learned my first manual stick. And let's just say I was obsessed. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. And it really set the tone for cars. And that's what me and my dad shared a passion for, just cars back then. Then obviously life changes, but again, whole other stories. And this, I don't want to get sidetracked with this. Find your interest, because this is where it can make you money. This is where it can make you happiest. I was working for retailers at this time, doing everything, grinding YouTube, but nothing was popping off. Nothing. I dropped out of college, even though I did get a single degree, but I dropped out of college, and now I was just working in the field. But I was finding my interests, things that I like to do. So, I used that money and got a sponsorship for a triathlon company that I didn't even know. And it happened once, and I was like, sweet, I got $170 from it. Put it all back in the channel, and that money never did anything for me. But it showed me that there's possibilities you can make money. Had no relatability to the channel either. Then, basically, since I was so obsessed with cars, I was like, why not clean them? So I worked for a cleaning, auto detailing company. Worked for them for a few. And I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to work for something, because within the 2 weeks of a bi-weekly check, I was making $1,200. But then this is where things take a huge turn. I start an auto detailing company that I don't really do much anymore. I just do it on the side, but I was a full-time auto detailer. I would go to people's places. I would detail their car. Hear me out. I made $2,500 in a week. completely untaxed because I wasn't a registered LLC. I was just freelance. Then I started videography and photography for weddings and freelance. I was making extra like $500 to $700. I was doing so well. I was super proud of myself, super happy. On top of that, working full time. Then things crashed. So then at 2020, this is where I'm 20 years old, I figure out the stock market because I see a whole bunch of people day trading and everything. And I find some passion in that, but not a crap load, just something because at this point, since I made so much money auto detailing with all the businesses that I was starting up and the freelance jobs, I did options trades. And I made the most amount of money I've ever made in a single day in my entire life so far to this date. A whopping $3,800. It was it was between $3,800 and $4,000 in a matter of seconds. But then that obviously didn't last because then the U.S. economy had a little recession and things just went terribly south and it was crap. So at this point, I keep working. I keep on hustling. I keep on working and I'm selling shoes. I'm doing all this stuff and well, then I start picking up the shoes and I start selling those and I start reselling, which I still do to this day. Every one of these little hustles has made me to the person I am today to say that life is hard. And if you stick to one thing, you are going to fail. You need to have multiple avenues. That way you can live prosperous and have fun with life. To just stick to one thing and hope to God that it pulls off is something so stupid. Unless, again, you're a professional athlete and it's your therapy because I was there. I played baseball and I really wanted to go pro and that's, again, a whole nother story. But find your interests and capitalize on them to the point where you're making some money and you're happy with yourself. Start the businesses when you're young. That way you can learn. And if they capitalize and they do well, screw it, dude. You freaking hit the lottery. But anyways, if I could actually have you take one thing from this video here, is that when you're confident in yourself, you provide yourself with the confidence you can do anything. On top of that, start the businesses when you're young. And those businesses being the interest that you have. That's where, again, this whole car comes into play too, because I love cars and I did the detailing and I still do it, but not to a big enough scale. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope you take some, maybe like, if you take in like a word form of, this is what I need to do and not do what this guy did, awesome, bet. I hope it sincerely works for you. Start the businesses that are of interest, see where they go, and if they go nowhere, oh well, at least you say you tried.